Hey guys, Marsengen here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so today I wanted to try out something a little bit different, something that I thought would be kind of interesting to do with our boys Gamma 1 and 2 over here. And that is to try them out over on the Androids team, because you know, they are androids themselves, whilst they lead superheroes and are very, very good and very effective, of course, on that team. I wanted to see if we could make them work on an android team. This team got a lot of buffs at the end of 2023. The Dokkan Fest Android 21, Physical Evil 21 is really good. The Easy A's for AGL 13 and the LR androids are really good. So I wanted to try them out over here. Now, on an android team with 21 as the leader, they do only get the 170 leader skill, but considering how good they are, they're probably going to be fine, right? They're not in power absorption, transformation boost, or crossover. Now, the thing that made me want to try them out is, from their passive, remember, they support superheroes, joined forces, or defenders of justice for 3 key attack and defense 50%, which means they will be supporting the LR androids because they are a joined forces unit. And they do share 4 links with them: Android Assault, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. And remember, the androids themselves are also a unit that are providing 50% support to the androids category allies. So these two units give each other 50% support. So the rotation looking pretty good here to start us off. Of course, we want the androids to get a dodge in here so they get a defense buff for the turn. These guys are already starting out at 400k. Because we have so much key support, remember, Android 21 also gives all allies 2 key as well. So we're looking pretty good here. I can just grab this to get the full 24 key for you guys. And then if I go ahead and do this, we get our 2 int orbs, which means the Gammas are going to get their guaranteed additional 2 attacks, 2 super attacks, in fact. And that, of course, means their standby is then ready to use straight away from the next turn. I'll probably save it because their one, being that it's 4 turns, if you're keeping them on rotation, what that means is once you put them into their standby, the next time they come back, you have to use it or you lose it, right? So even though it can be activated very early on, we're doing this Golden Freezer fight. It's kind of funny, this Red Zone Golden Freezer fight is actually kind of difficult. It's, you know, it's pretty tough overall, but I really like using it as a testing ground for some of these newer units and newer teams, because some of these newer teams are so good, right? So these guys, they had 400k defense at the start of the turn. They're greatly raising on their 18 key and then raising on their 12 key. So already after the 2 supers, we're looking at them being at around 700k. Well, they get 2 additionals as well, right? So they're probably around 800k defense here. They get built-in crit chance, so we're getting all these attacks off. They didn't get a lot of crits though, but with this team, as opposed to, like, recently I did a run with the Heroes team where we were trying to go through the Red Zone Golden Freezer stage, and in that team we want to go as quickly as possible. Whereas obviously for this team, we have a lot of units that want to build up, a lot of units that stack, and things like that. So we can kind of do well with going a bit slower at the beginning here. And like I say, the Gammas and the Androids rotation going to be very good, giving each other a decent amount of support. Remember, the Gammas doing all of that whilst only on the 170 lead as well. So looks pretty good. Gamma 1, I quite like running him on the 21 team as well. He can hold down slot 1 here for us a little bit. And then I think we need to keep Android 13 on rotation so that he can get the stacks. Oh, he was in slot 7. That's really awkward. I should have realised that. That means he only gets 1 turn before he transforms, which is super awkward. But, oh well, I guess it is what it is. I should not have attacked you with Gamma 1, but I should have attacked you. But I think on this turn, we have enough firepower here to take out everybody anyway. So let's go ahead and do this. No big bad bosses for the physical 21 on this rotation, but should be fine. And Gamma 1 here, going to hold down slot 1. Getting the dodge is a little bit awkward. Gamma 1 is a defensive unit that has started to age a little bit in terms of his defensive capability. So it's one of the, he's in a weird spot where a bit of extra dodge could potentially be useful for him against attacks that would end up doing a lot of damage. But then, of course, early on, you want him to get hit so that he's getting that build up for his full passive. So can be a little bit awkward. I've given mine mostly additional, right, because he does raise defense on super. And Evil 21 here, she has the potential to get a bunch of additionals as well. This is her, of course, without big bad bosses active. still able to do a lot of damage for us here. And then AGL21 should hopefully finish off Tagoma here, right? We're type neutral, so I think we should be alright, depending on, well, I guess if she just gets a bunch of additional normals, then no. Alright, well, yeah, unfortunately, you're going to get floated off here. So, in terms of your support as well, now we have another android support unit. So, the LR android's at 310k defense start of turn. The Gamma's at 693. So, yeah, pretty good. We can go ahead and do this. There's no... like, the LR androids themselves would be fine slot 1, probably dodge, would double-digit tank and normal here, but... there's no point, I don't even need to risk it. Oh, he was stunned anyway. No need to even risk it. But yeah, look at that. Second turn with the support from Android 13 as well. 12 million attack stat here. Crazy. And because, of course, they've performed their third attack, they now have an extra 30% damage reduction and 50% attack and defense as well. So that's obviously why the numbers jump up for that turn. The support from Android 13 helps, of course. But yeah, very much bigger numbers on that turn. Very, very good. And the fact that this team links so well as well means we can do things like this, right? Where I can just save all of this int key here so that then the Gammas, when they come back on the next turn, are going to get all of that key and be able to get their guaranteed additional attacks. Gamma 1 able to get the last little bit of his build up here while his guard is still active, which is, of course, what we want. So yeah, we're looking pretty good here so far. I think honestly, the one thing that will be a bit of a shaky one when we get to that phase will be the AGL Golden Freezer. Could be a little bit tough for this rotation specifically, right? Where Gamma 1 is there for slot 1, doesn't have his guard, and obviously his STR. In fact, actually, the Golden Freezer, what is his super attack technically count as? Because Gamma 1 can counter, is it unarmed super attacks? So he might actually be able to counter Golden Freezer. I'm not 100% sure. I should double check that at some point, what his super attack counts as, but that would obviously be pretty good if we could get the super attack counter from Gamma 1 against Golden Freezer. The last phase will be interesting, of course, because we have the countdown timer, but by then we'll have the 21s transformed, so they'll be firing off a bunch of additional supers and everything. So we shouldn't have too much trouble. Plus, Android 13 transformed. If we get him onto the rotation with Evil 21, he has Big Bad Bosses active. He'll be doing a lot of damage as well. Not as much as we would have liked, because, of course, he hasn't had a chance to get a lot of build-up. It's why him, like Full Power Rose, has the same issue, right? If you get them starting off in slot 7, they end up transforming before they really get to do any of the stuff you kind of want them to do, right? So I think we probably do standby here, right? Because we want to get the attack off against AGL Golden Freezer. So I think we do go ahead and use the standby here. We're going to transform with 21 as well. And then I think we'll be looking pretty good. We were talking about this on the podcast last night as well. But the animations, I really like the animations for the Gammas. I do think the Core Breaker maybe is not quite how I expected it to be. But it's very weird that their mouths don't move for the active skill. I remember joking about it in a recent video where we used an older unit that was one of the like early active skill characters, and their mouths didn't move right in line with the voice lines. But a lot of the newer units now have all been doing that. So it's kind of strange that the newest, like, you know, anniversary LR, even though they are a Carnival LR, but it's kind of weird that they don't do that. But it is what it is. So, do I want to put you in... It's only one attack. I probably will just put you in slot 1. So we'll do this. Then the Gammas obviously now are in their standby mode. So they have 50% damage reduction. They get an extra 50% defense when attacking. They're still providing that support. They still get the buffs with their orbs. And then they greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn on the 18 key, as well as raising super class allies defense by 50% for 1 turn. So after they super... Android 21's defense goes up by another 50%, as well as all of the on-super buffs and stuff that she's going to get here at the end of the turn as well. So the LR androids get their buff from getting the dodge, 11.7 for them. The good thing as well, if we do take a big hit on the turn with Gamma 1, but we do survive, then we can bring out Android 16 as well. And he is a unit that, whilst he can get up to a lot of good raw defense after he attacks, he doesn't really want to be in slot 1. But of course, the Gammas, once we reach this point and are like post standby, they can be in slot 1, right? So this rotation with the Gammas and the LR androids, I think works out pretty nicely. And of course, the Gammas, their standby is charged by allies doing like additional attacks. So having units like the 21 and, well, the AGL one and the Evil one, they have built-in additionals and stuff, right? So it works out quite nicely for them. So let's see. This run could all come crashing down here with a super on Gamma 1, of course. But let's see how this is going to play out. So you've got 612k defense. We got a lot of good raw defense on this turn, but we don't really have a lot of slot 1 capability here, which is unfortunate. You're at 365, but you won't have guard anymore. So it's a little bit tricky, this one, to be honest. I think you have damage reduction, don't you? How much does she have? Is it just 21%? Yeah, 21%. Frieza hits really hard though, so 21% damage reduction and then just having 532k defense isn't good enough. Screw it, I'll just use an item here. Why not? Let's see if let's see how Gamma 1 does. I want to see if he is able to actually tank a super, well, counter a super. Because even with the Whis active, if he doesn't counter the super, if he gets supered here, he probably still gets killed. Of course, he wasn't fully built up, and now he is. Watch him not super, though, anyway. Okay, here we go. Well, there was no flash. Oh, he just dodged. The problem with that is it doesn't tell me whether he can counter it or not, because he just dodged it. Because the counter will obviously proc if the dodge, well, can proc if the dodge doesn't. So I guess in the end we didn't really need the item anyway. Although Frieza's normals hit pretty hard. I mean, this is just a fun team using the androids on the using the Gammas on the androids team. Using the item doesn't really matter to me. That we're not gonna get a no item run at the end. But I think it's a fun team to run. I like the way they work with the LR androids. I think this is a good little setup for them. And the Gamma's still looking really good when you look at their attack stats and everything. The Gamma's still looking very, very good against well, whilst on a 170 leader skill, right? So unfortunately, we can't do any extra attacks here before the standby because we don't have any like attack active skills. So we will go ahead and fire off the core breaker here. So let's do that. Oh, here he comes. Eat this, golden Frieza. How much is this going to do? Let's see. 8 charges we had, I think. Yeah, about 10 mil, no crit. Not the craziest, but pretty good. And then, now that we have the Whis active, we're going to be good either way, right? Because now that we've post-exchanged into Gamma 1, he still has 15% damage reduction. As long as HP's 30% or more, he still has 30%. And with the Whis active, that means he has like 70% damage reduction here. His start of turn defense isn't the craziest, though. So he absolutely could get rocked by a super in slot 1. There's only 1 attack, though, so I'm going to hope here that it isn't going to be a super. And we'll see how this goes. We're going to get the Dokkan attack on the next turn as well. So I think we should be looking pretty good. And then Gamma 1, he's still able to drop a 12.6 million attack stat here solo as well. Obviously still providing that support to the same allies. Still getting the... oh, he gets extra damage reduction per int orb as well, I forget, post standby. So his damage reduction, I think now with the Whis, is actually over 100% anyway. So he couldn't take damage regardless. And then the androids here. Good solid attack stat for them as well. So we are looking... very good. Although, of course, they also are not on Android 21's 200% leader skill. I always forget about that because they're not power absorption, they're not transformation boost, they're not crossover. So, yeah, see, they tank the Golden Frieza normals for double-digit damage. And then we know well, this is interesting. When she came out, AGL Android 21 post super, as long as the first hit she takes is a normal and then she gets that big defense buff, she was able to tank every super attack in the game. So I wonder if AGL Golden Frieza was to super attack her here after a bunch of her supers, I wonder how much damage she would take. Well, I guess we also have the Whis active as well, to be fair. So with the Whis active, she absolutely just tanks everything here. Although we are seemingly, I think we're not going to kill... Actually, how low can we get his health? Because on the next turn, we can use the Android 21 active skill. Yeah, so let's see how she does here. She got her defense buff because she's been hit. I keep forgetting the Whis is active, so it doesn't matter. This will be double digits, right? Yeah. Okay, well, we can use the active skill, which gives her that slot 1 buff. So let's do that. And then we should be looking good here. Not sure how much damage this does. Does an action break as well. I mean, he's super. I don't know what his super attack cooldown is, but he super does the last attack of the last turn, so he shouldn't be supering here in slot 1. And then if we do this, I guess we can just get the we can get Gamma 1 floated off to be on rotation. But we're not actually going to get another rotation with the by the time for him to come back, right? So we should be all good here. Yep, get hit, get your buff, and now Dokkan attack should be all she wrote for AGL Golden Frieza here. And then we just have to actually take out the STR Golden Frieza before before he does his KO attack, which I don't think Android 21 will be tanking that somehow. We'll see. I mean, hopefully we won't see, because hopefully we'll just kill him before then. Alright, so Dokkan attack, decent enough damage, and then we get our additionals off here as well. I always forget just how much HP Golden Frieza actually has. So we should still kill him this turn, I think. It depends what Android 13 is going to do afterwards as well. Although, to be fair, 21 is getting all of her additionals off here. Not getting a lot of crits, though, sadly. Imagine if we don't kill him here. Only an 8.4 from 13. So I guess it depends what he does, additionals-wise. Damn, that low damage, though. Man. It's one of those things, right? 13, of course. I put him on the team for the Android's defense support, or just support in general, which we didn't really get much of because we barely got any turns of him. And then he transformed super early, so we didn't get to see him get like a bunch of stacks. So unfortunately, not the best showing for the AGL Android 13 in this stage, I'm afraid. Ooh, that was close. Could have got the additional, but no. Is he going to immediately... Is he going to slot 1 super me? I should hope not. But then I guess, to be fair, it doesn't even matter, right? He gets up to 50% damage reduction if you get all these int orbs. So he has his own 80% damage reduction now at the start of this turn. So I think even if Frieza does super attack him, it doesn't matter. But he didn't anyway. And then we dodged anyway, so... Everything coming up clutch for Gamma 1 over here. So he's going to finish off Golden Frieza. We go into the countdown phase. We get 2 turns to finish him off. We do have the other Android 21 who obviously has her active skill ready to go. So let's fire that off here. I should have turned the animations back off because we've already watched this once, but... Fire off the active. Now, the thing with the countdowns is even doing action breaks, it doesn't stop the enemy from counting down, I've noticed, which is annoying, but it is what it is. So okay, so we can grab all of the AGL orbs here now. I kind of want to save, yeah, we want to try and save the int orbs for Gamma 1 on the next turn. But I mean, we got a full AGL rotation here. With 21 transformed, it means everybody has big bad bosses. So there's going to be a lot of damage output on this turn. And then I'm fairly sure that the combo of the Gammas and the LR androids will be able to finish it off on the next turn. So pretty decent run over here. We didn't get to see Android 16 come out. Judging by how we sort of lucked out with where the super attacks were and everything in during the AGL Golden Frieza phase. Of course, in hindsight, we probably could have absolutely got away without having to use the item on this run. But, you know, like I said, this was just for fun, try the Gammas out on the Androids team. But yeah, I mean, it would have gone pretty well, even with the Android 13 not really being in his optimal setting. I think one of those... I mean, I liked having the Gammas and the Androids straight away on turn 1, but I potentially would have reset to not have Android 13 in slot 7, but, you know, it is what it is. So, on this rotation, we are doing a pretty nice amount of damage here. What's he down to now? Yeah, there's no way Gamma 1 doesn't finish him off. Because if we get those int orbs, he's getting all of those additional supers as well. So, with the amount of damage that he can put out following the standby, even in that form, he's obviously still very, very effective. So, we should be all good here. Just all these AGL units popping off against Frieza. And, oh yeah, we have the Gammas together now as well. So, we can... I mean, I guess we just let the Gammas go crazy here, right? Because look at that, 643, you've got all your links active. We'll do this. And then we'll do this. So... And these guys are at Gamma 1 at least now. All links active, because he shares every link with Gamma 1 except Legendary Power. And then we can do that for the full-on overkill. So Gamma 1, is he going to be able to finish him off? 10 mil. Pretty much bang on 10 million attack stat here. This Frieza doesn't have a lot of HP, so... Well, he has enough HP, but... Not enough for Gamma 1, who's going to get a guaranteed 2 additional supers. 16.5 on his 18 key here. So that's all she wrote for Golden Frieza. And there you go. There's the Gammas on the Androids team. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I think it's a fun combo. They work very well with the physical LR Androids. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.